In the knife and EDC hobby, the fear of regret is almost as bad as the fear of missing out. And at the beginning of the year, I screwed up. I sold my beloved Quiet Carry 9, the knife that I said was the knife of the year in 2023. I had it in my hands and I let it slip through my fingers.
Epic fail.
But that's okay, because today we've got another Quiet Carry 9 and I'm already feeling quite a lot better. Let's go ahead and talk about the updated Quiet Carry 9. Let's go.
This is Sparta!
Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, make sure to high five the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today, I'm really excited because we get to right a wrong. At the beginning of the year, I sold my beloved Quiet Carry 9, and I have regretted that decision ever since. You see, the Quiet Carry 9 was a knife that I said was the 2023 knife of the year, and I stand by that. I still believe that. So why did I get rid of mine? Well, honestly, I was just chasing other knives, and it was something in my collection that I knew I could sell and that somebody would want, and it was a mistake. And I'm man enough to admit that. I'm human. I make mistakes. Luckily for me, Quiet Carry has come out with their 2024 variant of the 9, and I honestly couldn't be happier. They've made two specific changes, and given the opportunity, I would not trade this one for the one that I had before. The one I had before was excellent. This one is just a little bit better. First of all, first change you're probably looking at is their choice in carbon fiber. So this is what they call Sea Swirl carbon fiber. Quiet Carry has a bit of a nautical theme going on, and so the blue swirl looks fantastic. It pops more, it has more dimension. I think that overall it's just, quite honestly, the best looking knife that Quiet Carry has made to date. There's just about only one thing they could do to make this look better, and that's to do the 3D milling lines on the blade instead of the stonewash, but the stonewash is better for regular use case scenarios, so I digress. The second change is the move to Vanax Super Clean. The prior version of the 9 was made in MagnaCut, and I am a massive fan of MagnaCut. However, if there was one steel out there that could challenge MagnaCut as far as being an amazing all-around steel when it comes to corrosion resistance and wear resistance and toughness, well, it would be Vanax. And if you want to know more about Vanax, I'll make sure to link to my Steel Snobs episode specifically about Vanax up in the corner above. So feel free to check that out, you know, after you watch this video, of course. For those of you who didn't see my original review on the Quiet Carry 9, there's some things about this knife that make it absolutely incredible. Starting off with 3D milled contoured titanium handle scales. Contouring is when they round the scales out and radius them out, and that's important because it creates extremely good ergonomics in the hands versus slab style handle scales, which, for example, this is a slab style handle scale. See how it's flat? Yeah. Now, there's nothing wrong with slab style handle scales. They have their place, but if you want that truly hand-meltingly good ergonomical experience, it doesn't get any better than contoured titanium. But it's expensive. We don't see that in a lot in American-made knives. Why? Because the machinery that is needed to make contoured titanium is extremely expensive. Now, this knife was made in Taiwan. Taiwan is not China. For those of you who don't know, Taiwan is a free country. They're a country who has capitalism and democracy, and they have to pay their workers a living wage, and they have to do things like provide safe working environments and health insurance and, you know, paternity leave. So it's not like Taiwan is super cheap. In fact, having something made in Taiwan, especially a knife of this quality, is not cheap at all. In some cases, it's even more expensive than going with a US manufacturer, but Their capabilities on the manufacturing end are some of the best in the world, and not just for knives, but for other things as well, like electronics, superconductors. They're the world leader in manufacturing superconductors. Think about that. Anyways, as far as the knife is concerned, this is fantastic. Look at this 3D milled titanium pocket clip, which is truly deep carry. This is a fantastic pocket clip design. Easy one-handed operation in and out of the pocket, no issue. We've got a reversed lock bar cutout similar to what we see on Chris Reeve knives, and that's fantastic because instead of having the lock bar relief cut out here on the top where it could cause potential ergonomic issues, it's on the inside. So again, more of a seamless grip. We've got this chamfering right here on the finger groove for your index finger. That's the only spot where they tell you where to put anything, and it's the perfect spot to put your finger. You can get in a completely locked out grip with just 2 fingers between your thumb and your index finger. The blade is a full flat ground, and I'm not going to have the argument of flat grind versus hollow grind, but specifically on a thinner blade stock like this full flat grind is going to make sure that you don't bind up in any material that you're moving through. The edge bevel is perfectly done. That is a sticky edge straight from the factory, and this clip point style blade is going to be excellent for most of your cutting tasks. It's really good. Check out the show side. There's absolutely no hardware showing on the show side. It's a single-sided captive pivot, and this is honestly some of the best action that I've ever experienced on any knife. It's whip smooth. I'll say that again. It's whip smooth. Guillotine action, perfect drop shut, perfect blade centering, perfect lock up and lock out. The frame lock is going to be locking out somewhere around the 40 percentile. So I'm not surprised in the slightest that, it feels extremely solid. The irony here is that I don't generally like thumb stud only deployment options. Typically speaking, I like a combination with my thumb stud, like thumb stud flipper or thumb stud fuller. This is thumb stud only, and it's the best example of a thumb stud only deployment that I've come across. But the fact of the matter is, American-made companies purely aren't doing this in this price range at all. And we don't really have any excuses, guys, because it's not like I'm comparing an American-made knife to a knife made in China or a knife made in Italy or a knife made anywhere else. In fact, there is one knife that I can think of made here in the United States that competes with this as far as manufacturing quality is concerned, and it's a little bit more expensive than this. In fact, some of you have probably seen this before. This is the TRM Neutron 2 in the 3D milled contoured titanium lizard skin handle scales. And this knife costs $440, but we still don't get a 3D milled pocket clip, and the backspacer on this is G10 instead of titanium. I said that this knife was an amazing value because you just don't see contoured 3D milled titanium on American-made knives under like the $600 to $800 mark. We just don't see it. And that's why this knife is super impressive. Love the TRM Neutron 2, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal knife. But it is still $440. And when you compare it against something like this, the manufacturing quality from the Taiwan manufacturer who does this work for quiet carry is stunning. This is easily one of my favorite pickups this year. No holds barred. The Quiet Carry 9 is a certified banger. And if you're looking for your next knife purchase and you're like, man, I want something premium, but I don't want something made in China, but the good stuff made in the US is way outside of my price range, you could do a whole lot worse than the Quiet Carry 9. If this model was new as of 2024, this would be the runaway favorite for Knife of the Year. But it already got that title last year, and I'm not going to do that 2 years in a row. But I will say this, I have no regrets now. All my regrets are gone. I feel fulfilled having gotten this knife back, and especially getting it in Vanax Super Clean and the C-Swirl carbon fiber. I also don't think the Quiet Carry has made a better looking knife than this, and they've done some really good ones like the Drift LCT. That's a fantastic looking knife, but it's not going to win the beauty pageant the Quiet Carry 9 is. Now, in case you were wondering, how well does it cut? Let me grab a piece of cardboard and I'll show you just how slick this cutting geometry really is. So I haven't cut anything with it yet, so we're going to do that right now. Yeah. It's pretty freaking good, guys. Yeah. It's the cutting geometry on here is fantastic. Right out of the box, it will not disappoint. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the Quiet Carry 9? Do you like this new variant, or do you think that they should have stuck with MagnaCut? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you watched this far and you're not subscribed to the channel, please smash that subscribe button. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and I would greatly appreciate it. And by the way, if you'd like to watch more awesome knife and EDC content, go ahead and click on one of those videos that pops up next.